welcome to Gaming, and today we're going to be talking about Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer gameplay details and new features. Obviously basing it off of Exclusive Ace's video, and maybe we'll make another video talking about the gunsmith, or maybe we'll talk about it at the end of this. I don't have a script. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to keep going. So the first thing is sliding and diving. I personally think that's a good idea. I've always liked sliding in the new Call of Duties. It just feels weird to not have it. Diving, I don't see a reason to have it. Like, maybe it helps you vault over pieces of cover. If it helps you vault over like a rock or like a fence, I think that'll be cool. Or maybe it becomes a mechanic where it can help you like grab onto a ledge or something like that. I think vaulting would be okay. But other than that, sliding, diving feels pretty similar. Like, sliding will let you shoot, but diving doesn't feel like it'll let you shoot. Maybe diving will be faster and have more distance. We're going to see some more crazy movement from these movement kings on the sticks. Anyway, speaking of movement, we got swimming. I think swimming is way overdue. Like, there's a lot of shit, man, like, that could be happening with swimming. You know, I really like swimming in Blackout. It really became a good escape route and cool ways to fight and to become sneaky and stuff like that. And I think it's a welcome addition. I think that falling into a little puddle of water in Verdansk was really annoying, and you just died. And then Caldera, there are so many opportunities that you could be swimming and stuff like that, but the water's a little bit too shallow. So swimming is welcome there. This next one is ledge hanging and ledge peeking. I think this is milk toast, white guilt. I think this is not really a good mechanic. Not even that. I think it's just going to be so useless because of how people force the pace of the game to be. Like, people want the game to be super fast. And ledge hanging just kind of slows it down, and it's kind of the same thing as blind firing. Like, we all saw blind firing was going to be like a super detrimental thing, but nobody fucking uses that shit. Nobody uses it, man. It's just a feature that you have and an option that you have. Same with the ladder thing. Like, why would I, okay, in Warzone, all right? Why would I go on a ladder and shoot someone with a pistol if they could turn around and blast me? You know what I mean? With, like, their Armaguerra 64, whatever the hell it is, right? So I don't think it's going to be that useful in Warzone. And how many people are actually holding a pistol? I don't think it's going to happen. So it's just a useless mechanic, but I guess it's just an option to have. The new vehicle mechanics that we heard about, like shooting out tires, shooting out of vehicles, going on the rooftop of vehicles, shooting out the window, all that stuff, and having the helicopter that you can control, and you can just let the helicopter float there. I think that's all welcome additions to Warzone. I don't think it's going to make a big difference in Modern Warfare. I do appreciate the most is being able to shoot out of the car and shooting at the tires. Shooting at the tires is going to be amazing for PC players because you're going to be able to hit those tires while the controller man is going to be just aiming at the body. And it's really going to create a bunch of different engagements and dynamics, especially when you're chasing people across the map. And you just shoot at the tires and you can just destroy people. So I think that's going to be really cool for vehicles in Warzone. Not so much, vehicles in MP. So looks like some of the same equipment is going to be coming back. Apparently you got like a snake cam now. Like, I think the snake cam, I think that's going to be good for the Rainbow Six Siege mode. But other than that, I think it's going to be pretty useless. But everything else is pretty much the same, except for that dummy thing. There's like a dummy thing that comes up, like a decoy dummy. I think that'll be cool. We're going to see some fun plays on that to draw out some positions, especially in Warzone. If there's a sniper on you, you can kind of just see where that shot's coming from and stuff like that. I think that'll be a cool cheese mechanic. Next thing up is map design. So this is one that I kind of want to argue a little bit against, but not too much. Map design for me is pretty important because I don't really like the boring 3-lane maps that Treyarch makes and stuff like that, like all the time. But I also don't like the super porous maps that Modern Warfare 2019 had. So considering that they're going to make it like Candor Hideout, Shoot House, and Kovik Sawmill, just that standard 3-lane asymmetrical maps, I think that's okay, but I don't want all the maps to be like that. I do want to kind of see different kinds of styles of maps. But speaking of that, they are going to be making like 6v6 maps and battle maps. I wasn't really a fan of Ground War. Like, Ground War, bro. Like, it's not amazing, but I kind of wish they went for the combat pacing where they just had all the maps that you can just play on and just adjust the amount of players that could be on it. I think that could have been a feature they could have brought to Modern Warfare 2022 from Vanguard, but as long as these 6v6 maps are good, that's all I really care about because I don't really care about anything more than 10v10, to be honest with you. So last thing is talking about the gunsmith. So the gunsmith is going to be having a different system completely, and for gun nuts as such as myself, I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be an interesting system. So the first thing is they're going to have 7 attachments. So you have 5 slots for attachments at the top. And at the top, you have your muzzle, underbarrel, laser, ammunition, optic, and rear grip. And these things are kind of like just small little things that can improve the gun's performance. So like a muzzle brake suppressor. You have an underbarrel, like a grip, a laser, 5mm laser, ammunition. You can change to like, subsonic rounds or something like that. Your optic, of course, that, and then your rear grips. So I think that's pretty cool. And you're only allowed to choose 3 of them. So you can choose 3 of those. So you can't just stack it on like Vanguard. And I think that's really good because you have the freedom of, you don't have the freedom of choice to just do whatever you want. You have to kind of make tactical decisions. And the cool part at the bottom is the gun parts. So the gun parts, actually changing out the receiver, changing the magazine, the barrel itself, the stock. I think that's pretty cool. And those things make a bigger difference. And you get to choose all 4 of those. So if you want to make that MP5A4, you can change that classic line stock. You can get like the classic receiver or something like that. You can get like the, you can make an SD on there. You can make the barrel. Like, I think that's pretty cool. But what I don't like is that they're adding attachment tuning. And I think, like, for example, you can make the barrel longer for slower ADS time, but longer range, or more movement walking speed, but more like bullet velocity, whatever like that. And you do like trade-offs that way. I don't really like that because the game is complex enough with all the different attachments and combinations you can make, but then they're adding another layer on top of that, which really makes it frustrating to find the min-max of a gun. And like Ace was saying, it kind of just ruins the personality of each gun. So, for example, you have an AKM, right? So you get the AKM, and the reason you choose the AKM because it hits hard, and it has the recoil is crazy on that shit. So what you have to do is like you have to put on the attachments to bring down its mobility even more so that you can control the recoil, right? But now you can basically make an AKM, and then you can kind of reduce the caliber. So you go 4.5, and then you make the barrel long, and then you could do like, or you make it short, so you have like, more recoil control or whatever, high rate of fire, blah, blah, blah. And you can kind of cater the weapon to whatever you need it to be. So every gun ends up becoming the same. So I'm pretty sure Infinity Ward is going to double down on this feature about them doing weapon attachment tuning. Maybe they could do it in notches rather than it being every single point. So if there's like 1, 2, or 3, then you only have 3 choices to choose from. So you can go extra long, medium long, or super short, something like that to just make it a little bit easier. But if you have basically an infinite amount of tuning, I think it's gonna be just too complicated for the casual player, and I don't think that's a good idea. But I know they're going to stick with it, so hopefully they just kind of balance it out or do something, because every gun's going to lose its personality. And the weapon tree is not going to be like every gun. It's going to be platforms. So you have the AK platform, and then you have the AR platform. So the AR could be converted to the PCC, the LMG, the P90 version, whatever. The AK could be the AKS. It could be the AK-74. You could change that all, and you can get attachments for every single attachment you get in that tree. If you're using the AK platform, you will unlock attachments for the entire AK platform. So instead of leveling one gun, you level up a bunch of guns at the same time. But that being said, that one platform is going to have an infinite amount of options, which I think is, it's hyper. It's just, what's that word called? Hyper focus, overstimulation. It's just way too much. Hyper choice. It's going to be hyper choice, and I don't know about that. I want them to simplify it a little bit more. Maybe they're doing that because of the Tarkov mode that's coming out that they're trying to hint at. But for Warzone, it's going to be way too complicated, guys. Multiplayer, I'm pretty sure the DTK is going to be short as fuck, so it doesn't even fucking matter. But I'm pretty sure they're just geared up for the DMZ mode, Tarkov mode. But anyway, what do you guys think about the multiplayer details we got? I think overall it's going to be a good gameplay experience. I'm just worried about it being a over complex experience with the guns, right? And just having every gun be the same, right? But anyway, that's all I got to say, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.